Hey there, my name is Chris Acton with Acton Creative, and this is a handwoven experience. And in this episode, I'm going to introduce you to the very charming Bumberet. Now, I've heard it pronounced Bumberet, but I think Bumberet sounds swankier, so that's what we're going to go with. All right? Now, this is a new pattern for me, which is so fun because I've been weaving a long time. So to discover a new pattern that has a very cool effect was really a treat. And I think after you hear how easy it is to do, you'll be just as much in love with it as I am. So let's talk about some Bumberet. Now, what makes this unique is that Bumberet pattern will create a ribbed fabric. Now, when I say it's ribbed, do you know what I mean? Think corduroy, where you have kind of a baseline of the fabric, but then you have these rows of additional yarns that pop up, right? I think it's always kind of a fun tactile experience because you can feel all of the ridges in the fabric. Bumberet creates an effect just like that. It has a ribbed kind of detail to the fabric, all right? And the beauty of it is that it doesn't have a complicated threading or a treadling either. So no matter where you are, you can do some Bumberet. So let's break that down, shall we? So let's start with the threading. Now, threading refers to the order that your warp yarns go through the loom. I'm at the front of the loom, here's the beater bar, here are my 4 shafts. So a Bumberet pattern calls for a point twill threading. Have you heard of this? Point twill threading is a sequence that looks like a series of zigzags in your loom. So as you're putting your warp yarns into the shafts, here's how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a whole zigzag kind of thing. If you're hovering over your loom and you're looking at the order that your warp yarns are going through the shafts, that's what you see, is a little zigzag back and forth, back and forth. Here's the catch, is that for Bumberet, we need to have one color that goes 2, 1, 2, like at the little point, right? And then we need a different color that goes 3, 4, 3. And then back to the first color, 2, 1, 2, and the other color, 3, 4, 3. So what that gives you then is that imagine if I just lift shafts 1 and 2, in my fabric here, I have all this dark chocolate. I did that intentionally. So I knew that every time I went on shaft 2 or 1, I was gonna do this chocolatey color. However, if you look at the opposite, shafts 3 and 4, look at this. I have all the other colors playing on those shafts. So as you are working through your threading with your point twill sequence, just think you need one color that's gonna go 2, 1, 2. You need the next color to go 3, 4, 3. That's it. That's the only catch. You can do it. It's just a matter of where you put your colors, right? So let's talk about the treadling next. Now, even if you're just starting out, you've probably heard the phrase plain weave, right? Over, under is just like your pot holder you did when you were a kid. Ultimately, Bumberet is a lot of plain weave. It is. However, there's a little pit stop as you make your way between your 2 options. So let me explain. Plain weave, typically on a 4-shaft loom like this, you're gonna lift shafts 1 and 3, right? That's half your yarns. And then you're gonna lift shafts 2 and 4, right? That's the other half of the yarns. But for Bumberet, you need to make a pit stop in between each one. So here's what that looks like for the pattern that I'm doing here. I'm gonna start with 2 and 4, and I'll send my shuttle through that way. Now, instead of going directly to 1 and 3, I'm gonna go to 3 and 4. See those 2 in the back there? That's my next one. I'm gonna go this way, and then I'm gonna go to 1 and 3, the other end of the plain weave. And then when I come back, I want to make the same pit stop. 3 and 4, right here. And lastly, I'll end up back at 2 and 4, just like that. And what this does, as you're looking at your fabric, is it creates a series of floats. And those floats are all lined up like people in a row, in a line, and it makes the rib of the fabric. That is the beauty of it. It is just that simple and that sweet. So what you end up with then is this really interesting fabric. All kinds of possibilities to play with as far as color, different like specialty yarns, all kinds of great ideas that you can do with this really simple pattern. It's just back and forth. Plain weave, a little pit stop in between every time you go through the treadling. That's all there is to it. How sweet is that? It's just so much fun. And I sincerely hope that you will give it a try. So if you're drawing a blank on what to do next, do some Bumberet. You can do it. I think you'll enjoy it. Have a great week, friends. Happy weaving.